Hello and welcome back to the Overdue Sports Show, episode 11 of the Overdue Sports Show. I'm your host, Jake Sawinski, accompanied as always by Will Massa. How we doing, Will?
It's time. We finally
It's
made
time.
it. We made it through all the conference tournaments, and now we got the big one, the bracket. Selection Sunday was very eventful, to say the
Yeah.
least. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna talk all about it, and we're gonna dive through the entire bracket, every single matchup.
Yes, before we get into that, though, two things. First, some NFL news. They signed Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They gave them big money. We don't know how they did it because I think we touched upon it when we did our NFL free agency talk. I don't know if that was last. I mean, we've done 4 shows in the last 2 weeks, but whenever we talked about that last, we were like, I don't know how they're going to do it. They found a way to do it. So Joe Burrow is going to pass for 6,000 yards and have like 8 wins and barely miss playoffs. So they will not have a defense. Like their best defensive player retired, and they're trying to trade their other best player. So I don't know. Second, go check out the conference tournament videos we did, or the podcast we did. They are all over, so it is all decided. But we were really dumb, so go check those out.
You're not giving us enough credit. We fared
No,
pretty decently in those. You
I don't
cannot
know.
say that. You cannot say that.
Maybe I am too result oriented. Maybe I'm like, oh, I didn't pick the right team. But I guess now that you mention it, we did a couple of the conferences. We did narrow down some teams we like. Like we nailed the Mountain West. You had
Yeah.
Colorado State. I had Boise, and it gave me a heart attack. I see some more gray up here because I was so mad. I turned the game off. Like they didn't get off the bus or the plane, or they should have just sat in the locker room, and they would have scored more than if they were actually on the court. If they were in the locker room.
We got
Yeah,
Wilmington.
we did. I
We
don't
got High
remember that
Point.
one.
We got High
No.
Point,
Okay,
McNeese,
well
which
that's not
those were
saying
slam
much. Those
dunks.
aren't saying much. Yeah.
We had
Um,
we did say Wisconsin, who lost in the finals, which
travesty,
not quite there yet, but
travesty. But
I want to say we had Akron in the MAC.
yeah, but that was kind of a dunk too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't do that bad,
No, I mean,
all
I
things
think.
considered.
Okay, if we were betting, if this was horses, we got a lot of horses to show. I put it that way. We didn't hit an outright winner. Well, we hit a couple, but you
The
know what I'm
Rams.
saying.
The Rams.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like most of the conferences, we got a horse to show,
Yeah.
but that doesn't count. But whatever. We did get St. Francis, though. That was pretty crazy. I
That
didn't
was
bet that one, though, of
disgusting.
course.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah. I was gonna. I forgot, but it's all right. Actually, I think I said, like, there's no reason to bet this conference, and of course, that's the one I hit. But
That's the one long shot.
all right. Enough of the past, though. We have a bracket, and we are going to talk through the bracket. But before we do, the NCAA committee violated the Geneva Convention by picking North Carolina instead of literally anyone else. 1-12 in quad one wins. What were when you saw that? What did you think?
I thought it was ridiculous, and to me, it's changed. I think this officially changed the landscape because now we're talking about, okay, it's fine that if you don't get the results, but if you play those teams close, you can get in. I don't care that you lost to Duke by 2 points. I don't. You lost. We're talking about wins and losses when it's in terms of an at-large bid, especially when you're talking about Power 5 teams getting an at-large bid. You have to look at wins and losses. The common denominator is your record versus quads. And I understand that North Carolina didn't lose in quad 2 and West Virginia
No, they
was.
lost in quad 3. They had a quad 3 loss.
Did they? And I think
think
West
so.
Virginia I want to say West Virginia had a losing record in quad 2. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I saw that.
I got it up right now. West Virginia was 6-10 in quad 1, 4-3 in quad 2.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Arizona State, TCU, and Colorado on a neutral site. 4-0, 5-0 in quad 3 and 4. So no problems there. But let's pull up The other team was Indiana. Indiana, we were pretty hard on Indiana all year. I called for Mike Woodson's head, and I got it. It's on a spike in my apartment. I'm just kidding. It's not. That would be weird. Silence of the Lamb shit. But Indiana in quad one, 4-13. When you're like, oh, that's really bad. But they probably play in the second best conference in college basketball, being the Big Ten. And the wins they had were really good. They got smoked by Louisville, so that one's. Penn State was technically a quad one win at the time. It was a road win. They beat Ohio State on the road, which I don't know if that's really saying a ton either, but whatever, right? Michigan State in East Lansing might have been one of the best wins of any team all season. Not the best win, but it's up there, right? Like number 11 in the net rankings, Michigan State on the road, you beat them by 4. You smoked Purdue at home, you beat them by 15. Indiana was 5-0 in quad 2, 6-0 quad 3, 4-0 quad 4, right? I mean, if you have a quad 4 loss, you should be, that's probably a resume breaker, right? Let's look at North Carolina real quick. North Carolina quad 1 wins on the old Google machine. 1-12 in quad 1. Their one win was UCLA on a neutral site. Beat them by 2. Lost to Duke 3 times. Clemson once. Pitt, Wake Forest, Louisville, Kansas, Auburn, Michigan State, Alabama, and Florida. 8-0 in quad 2. They did very well in quad 2 because there are some quality teams on this list. Notre Dame, it was a road game, so I guess that counts. Dayton, SMU, NC State, Pitt, Syracuse, Florida State, and Wake Forest. Those aren't horrible, right? They lost to Stanford at home. They're 7-1 in quad 3 and 6-0 in quad 4. That one loss. Now, you losing to Stanford at home, I feel like isn't as bad of a loss like by the eye test as it is on paper, because I feel like Stanford, being very up and down, did put it together at some points during the season. So I don't think that loss is as bad as it looks. But like to your point, what you said was like at the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses, right? They don't quantify quad 1, quad 2 covers. They don't quantify, quad 1 really close games. Like they don't do that. It's wins, and that's what matters. And like you look at that resume for them and you compare it to Indiana or West Virginia. West Virginia blows them out of the water. 1-12 versus 6-10 against quality opponents. Like it's mind-boggling that they went that direction. And like I'm not even gonna bring up the UNC athletic directors on the committee. He's got a seat there. Whatever. I mean, part of me thinks they would have just put him in anyways because it's North Carolina and they're a blue blood, and God forbid one of our chosen ones don't play in a tournament where they're probably going to lose by the first weekend, right? So it is just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I do want to make this clear. Like, them getting in does not mean that they won't win games in the tournament, because that's still possible. Like we saw it with NC State last year.
Yeah, they fired their coach this year. Like he would have been fired last year if he didn't win the tournament.
Yeah. So this has nothing to do with how they will perform in the tournament. This has to do with how they performed in the regular season and the bearing that had on them getting in or out of the tournament. Wins and losses don't matter anymore. I mean, throw it out the window. If you play in a Power 5 conference, as long as you schedule quad 1 teams, as long as your conference allows you to have quad 1 games on your schedule, it does not matter how you perform in them. That's the takeaway.
And I hope maybe this is just a one-off incident because I listen to Part of My Take, and John Rothstein is my favorite interview every year because he is a college basketball nerd and he's got his monikers, and he names each region, and he's a wealth of knowledge. He's an encyclopedia when it comes to college basketball, and even he called it a what did he specifically call it? Like the
You're on mute.
When did that cut out? I must have hit the bottom of my mic or something.
Right as you said, he called it A. Leaving us on a cliffhanger.
Oh, I said lots. Oh, we did. I said lots of bad words. No, I'm just kidding. He called it the biggest miscarriage of justice in college basketball history. And given some context, that might be true. Like he said, VCU getting in was like at the time like the worst decision the committee made with Shaka Smart, and then they went to the Final Four. So it's like to your point, them not they're like supposed to not be there at all is not indicative of how they're going to play. They're winning tomorrow. I barely
Yes,
than that. They're going to win
100%.
tomorrow, and I think they can like make it to the next week. I really think they can, just because everyone's gonna be like, "Fuck that team! I want to fade them. They're gonna win." So I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean we talked about a pre-show. Like I would be hard pressed to believe that Carolina won't just win that game. Like everybody in the country is hoping that they just lose. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But that wasn't like the only weird thing either, right? And we'll get into it as we kind of go down the bracket, but some of the seeding decisions they made just make no sense. Like Colorado State winning the Mountain West, being a 12 seed, and you've got some objectively worse teams seated higher than them. Like, don't get me wrong, Colorado State didn't really play that well at all during the season until about, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks ago. Like, they are the one bid stealer that really came to fruition this year, because like that was one team that the odds makers were kind of onto them, but in most people's minds, the Colorado State wasn't really on the radar. So I'd say they're the one bid stealer, but there are a couple other teams that were seeded very, very strangely, like just Gonzaga being an 8 seed. Like, I know their whole schedule every season isn't exactly what you're looking for, but they do take opportunities to play some better competition. They won the WCC. I mean, they did lose to St. Mary's twice, and I think they dropped one against Santa Clara. They might have lost another WCC game this year too. I don't quite recall. But them being an 8 seed, I feel like that is very low still. I mean, I think given their schedule, they could, probably be as high as a 5. Arkansas being a 10, that's probably about right. Kansas being a 7 is probably about right. They were kind of poopy all year. Like Baylor a 9, I feel like Baylor was bad. Good
Yeah,
strength
and
of
that was the team
schedule, perhaps.
I was really high on Baylor coming into the year, and they just did not perform the way that I thought they were going to.
Mm-hmm.
I even think that is like an overseed in my opinion.
Yeah, VCU being 11. VCU is really good, really, really good. Wisconsin, like our Badgers, might even be seated a little high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think they are.
I don't think that one's egregious though. But
No,
like, I
I
mean,
don't
I
think
think
so.
4 or 5 would have been really good for them. But even 3 might be a little high. But like, I don't have a huge qualm with that. I mean, I don't think that one's egregious or anything. Georgia being a 9 seed, that's a little high. I feel like they would have fit perfectly in that 10-11 range. Kentucky being a 3, I mean, good strength of schedule. They turned it on in the second half, but like, they look pretty stinky. Same thing with Texas A&M, like them getting a 4. Like, I mean, SEC and Big Ten, it's kind of hard to discount it because you have all those quad 1, quad 2 opportunities, but like those are teams that played really badly down like a certain stretch. Texas A&M, like, was an early exit from their own conference tournament. They lost like 5 in a row. Like, I don't know how that justifies a 4 seed. And like, I'm not making any indication of like, oh, they're not good, because they are a good team. But like you said, resume, I just feel like they're a little overseeded. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off base there, but I feel like some of the decisions there were a little head scratchers.
Yeah, I'll add in one more thing before we dive into the bracket. I think it has to do with the fact that they're not willing to give Power 5 teams less than that 11 seed play in. The highest mid-major is St. Mary's at a 7,
Mhm.
and there's not a Power 5 team below those play-in games at 11. So to
Yeah,
me,
no,
it just
yeah.
says at large will be Power 5 teams in that 11 seed spot.
Mhm.
And then if you're in the tournament and you play Power 5, you're above a 9 seed. You're a 9 or up.
Sure. And I get that too because like honestly at the end of the day, like March is crazy, right? You'll have Furman beat Virginia or UMBC beat Virginia or Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. But if you play those games 100 times, those teams lose 99 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, I think you have a point there just because it's like, okay, most of the time these teams don't have a snowball's chance in hell. But the thing that really stands out to me this year is like you have some quality teams that seem to be very much seated incorrectly. Like Memphis getting a 5 when you give Colorado State a 12. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like you could reshuffle some of those pieces and kind of level the field. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm not explaining
That's
that the best,
that's
but
more
like
that's more so what I'm getting at is like that's a great Colorado State's a great example as a 12. Like you think Colorado State had a worse season than Arkansas?
no, not at all. And like that is
Than Georgia?
and I feel like
Like
part of that is them just scheduling, hey, this is a Friday night game, and let's make this a good game. I feel like that plays into it. But Georgia, I definitely feel like, okay, Georgia was like competitive and frisky, and they won a few games they probably shouldn't have. But like Georgia being a nine, like that's what I'm getting at. Like you could easily flip some of those teams.
yeah.
Not even like to 12. Like you could even leave Colorado State there just for example's sake. But like you're telling me that Gonzaga and one of those 7 seeds couldn't be switched around. Louisville's an 8 seed. That's crazy too. Like they were actually a good team. Like we talk about how the ACC was down all season, but like they're one of those teams that got better. They were like one of the worst. I think statistically they were the worst Power 5 team in every metric 2 years ago. You get Pat Kelsey this year and they're ranked for half the season. So like I don't know how they're an 8 seed. Perhaps it's like, oh, you played in a really bad ACC. They can't really control that. The conference schedule's set. Like they can't really control that. They can go schedule tournament games, but to my knowledge they played some pretty good games. So I don't know. Maybe there's some more metrics behind that. We can't look at the net ranking for every team, but maybe there's something more to that. But like I feel like just within, like you said, 1 through 11s typically your at large or auto bid Power 5 Big East teams. I just felt like they could have reshuffled some of those, made those make a little more sense.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Let's dive right in. The South region. We got Auburn as the 1 seed. They will play the winner of Alabama State and 16 and 17 St. Francis, PA. I don't know who's going to win that. That playing game is going to be disgusting.
I like St. Francis on the points. That's one that like both those teams have no business being there anyways. Like they were Alabama State was their 5 seed in the SWAC and St. Francis was the 3 in the Patriot or the NEC. Steep 3 too, 12 to 1. So like neither of these teams have any business being here.
No, I'm 100% with you. The 8-9 game should actually be interesting.
Auburn's
Louisville. Oh, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I was making a joke. We didn't have to say that. I was just being an ass.
We've got Louisville and Creighton in the 8-9 there in the first round.
Yeah, this is an intriguing game. I really like Creighton here. I think Creighton's an underseeded team as well. I like a lot of these teams have had tough stretches, but I really like Creighton here. Kalkbrenner's a problem down low. They're a big guy. And Greg McDermott's one of the best coaches in college basketball. They'll be ready to go. Part of me saying I like Creighton is because I invested in Creighton again. I buy this team every year. Do it for Warren Buffett, boys. Come on. Let's get a big win. Let's go to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really like Creighton in this matchup. Like you said, like not a knock on Louisville. They're probably underseeded as well. Played in a less than good ACC this year.
Mm-hmm.
Creighton definitely struggled at times, but I'm with you. I like Creighton here.
Yeah.
Then the 5-12 game, the matchup everybody loves. The Michigan Wolverines as the 5 are taking on the UC San Diego Tritons.
I take credit for them. I blessed that gym with my presence over a year ago. La Jolla, California. It was a brisk evening, not cold evening, but it was January, Southern California. It was like 55, 60 degrees. We took an Uber from our Airbnb. They dropped us off on campus. It was like a 1.5 mile walk to the gym. And then we walked on the wrong side of the gym and we had to walk all the way around just to be at a gym that's smaller than my high school, and nobody was there, and they blew a cover against UC Riverside. But I love the Tritons. I've been on this team all season. I pay attention to the Big West, and they're good. They're 3.5-point dogs, and everyone loves them. They're done. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but the 5-12 has always been like where people fill out brackets, people who bet on the games. 5-12 is always that spot where it's like, hey, this is prime for an upset. The last couple of years, it hasn't been 5-12. I think we were talking about it pre-show. Every 5 seed won last year. This game reminds me a lot of Charleston with Pat Kelsey from 2 years ago against San Diego State. The game reminds me of that a lot. Everyone was like, Charleston's going to win. Charleston's going to win. It's the most public dog you could think of. I think this is that game. Michigan didn't. They won the Big Ten. They didn't look very good. And everyone in my betting group chat is like, oh, this 3.5 number is short. I don't think it's short. They're actually good. The Tritons are actually good. I think this number is like reasonably priced. Like I think their nets that's like 60 in the net ranking. Like they're a legit good team. They compete in most of the power conferences. I'm not saying they'd be like conference champion, but they would compete. Like they could beat Penn State. They could beat anyone could beat South Carolina. That's not saying much, but they're legitimately good, and the public really likes them. So I'm in on Michigan. I really like Michigan. Not for a basketball reason. It's just, hey, everyone likes this spot. I'm going to attack the other one. I really like Michigan, even though I don't want to.
Pre-show, I mentioned this. I actually thought that UC San Diego was going to be one of the lesser liked 12s when I looked through this list. And then you opened my eyes a little bit.
They're not. They're like I think everyone likes them.
Evidently, I was not on to something when I was thinking this morning about this bracket. So I'm actually gonna go with you here. I'm gonna Benedict Arnold this. I'm gonna go with Michigan as well.
You're Benedict Arnold? I'm Benedict Arnold. I bless them with my presence.
I'm gonna go with the Wolverines. I mean, they didn't look that good in the tournament.
They looked horrible yesterday.
But they
looked
won
as bad as you could. Yeah, I know. Like because Wisconsin let them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's shoot 7 to 39 from 3. It's not the 7 part, it's the 39 part. Like, why are you still shooting them? You're in the bonus with 10 minutes left. Go to the damn hoop. What are we doing? And then 2 minutes left. Oh, we're going to go to the hoop. Well, now they know you're going to do that. So instead of like, Greg Gard, you're my guy. I'm a Greg Gard guy. 2 passes and a drive with your head down to the hoop, forcing your way to take a contested layup is not an offense, bro. Come on. Do something else. But anyway, I'm not complaining about that. They pissed me off. I'm not complaining about that. But Michigan Michigan looked about as bad as a conference champion could yesterday, and the public hates them. To me, it's got to be Michigan.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm
with you on the Wolverines.
I'm gonna think about it some more, but I don't think there's gonna be a more public team than San Diego come Thursday night. I really don't.
It's fair.
Besides San
4:30.
Diego State, not even the two best
Yeah,
teams.
yeah.
The two San Diego teams might be done, and the second best one's going to be done tomorrow, and then the best team in San Diego is going to be done on Thursday. I think. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked.
The 4:13. Texas A&M taking on Yale. If you remember last year, Yale took down Auburn, who everybody loved to win the tournament, including this idiot right here.
Guess who loves them again this year? Everybody.
Yeah,
it's Auburn and Florida, the only two teams that have a chance to win.
I love Florida this year, for what
I
it's
do
worth.
too, dude. They're so good. They're so fun. They play with
the
attitude
Aggies
too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I like the Aggies
here.
Yeah, I like the Aggies too. I think Yale is going to be one of those teams that people look to target as well. I don't think it's going to be as aggressive as the game we just talked about, but the script's kind of out, like they won a game last year in the tournament, despite us saying like, oh, Princeton's been the representative for the last few years. And then we kind of just forgot that Yale like almost made it to the Sweet 16 for like 8 minutes of the second game. And then San Diego State thumped them. But yeah, we forgot that. But I think this is like, I think I'm going to play one of the 4-13s, taking a 13. I don't think this is going to be the one for me. And Texas A&M might actually be like the coldest team coming into this tournament. Like, I don't think we talked about how Michigan looked really bad in their conference championship game, but I don't know if there's a team that has looked any worse than Texas A&M has the last 2-3 weeks. There is no reason to like them. And I think that's a reason to like them.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm not taking, although I do think Yale is legitimately good this year.
Oh, they definitely could win. Like, you know how I said 99 times that team loses? Yale will not lose that 99 times. They might lose that 60 times. Yale is good, like legit good.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to like win their tournament game either. Like they really struggled to put Princeton away despite winning by like 15 at one point.
Man. Princeton getting the 4 seed kind of sucked for that tournament because that was, to me, like that was the game. Like that was the game that I was like most excited about. It's usually the game I'm most excited about in the Ivy League tournaments. It was a shame they played in the first round, but nonetheless, I think we're both on the Aggies here.
Yeah.
Let's move to the 6th seed. Ole Miss will be taking on, let's just say North Carolina, because you and I both agree we think North Carolina might just put it on San Diego State. So let's say for all intents and purposes, we got the Tar Heels versus the Runnin' Rebels of Ole Miss. What are you gonna do with this one?
I like Ole Miss. I'd see do
they just like shove it to everybody?
That inkling is in the back of my mind. It's like
mine too.
Yeah, but I really do like Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They're talented, and Chris Beard's a really good coach. I'm not saying Hubie Davis isn't, but like I feel like they were a pretty good team all year, and they kind of just were under the radar a little bit just because of, the real heavy hitters in that conference. And it's a team that wasn't exactly better friendly either for a lot of the time. I mean, the betting piece of it doesn't matter, but like that just kind of helps me narrow down what people think of all of these teams. Like say Pitt got in. How many people would be like, fuck Pitt, I want them out. I'm going to, you know what I mean?
It's like last year?
Yeah, exactly. And shocker, that's what happened. But I just try to consider that angle. It's not necessarily my end-all, be-all when making a pick, but I do like to consider that because with these anything goes type of game, it's like I think that's something to consider. But sounds like you agree, Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm with you. The 3-14 matchup is Iowa State versus Lipscomb. Give me the Cyclones. I don't think Lipscomb has much life here.
I don't think so either. And I think one of Iowa State's best players is out.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, and I don't think that'll matter. But if Iowa State's 3-point defense is not very good, don't be surprised.
Lipscomb bombs threes.
They bomb. Yeah, they bomb.
That's all they do. They sprint up.
Yeah, like if they can't hit a shot, that game will be over 5 minutes in. they'll be down 20-3.
Yeah. The 7-10, a little more interesting. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this one. Marquette and the Lobos of New Mexico. Give me the Lobos here. I go to this well every single year. It just feels like I'm going to do it again. It's what I do. No matter how hard I want to ever resist this team, I'll never lay off. Give me the Lobos.
My brain says Marquette and my heart says the Lobos because I really want. I have a 80-1 ticket for them to make the Final Four. If hell freezes over, so I'm gonna just consider that not gonna. It's not gonna be a thing. But I think Marquette's another team that like people aren't really interested in backing. It seems like they're always a trendy. Oh, they can make it to the Final Four team. I feel like they don't have any expectations this year. So as much as I want to say the Lobos, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet just because 7-10, I typically go 2-2. I pick 2 10s, 2 7s. It doesn't always shake out that way. In fact, it probably never shakes out that way. But just to be a little different than you, I'm going to go with Marquette here. I think Marquette's kind of undervalued. Don't know if the people like them very much.
I like it. The 2-15, Michigan State and Bryant. Give me Sparty. However, Bryant is big. They're physical.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun.
I watched that game Sunday. I
Yeah.
bet Maine, and I was so pissed. Like, Maine just got ran out of the gym.
Yeah. Bryant's solid. This to me is, depending on the number, and I don't know the number.
It's probably double digits.
Give me Bryant to cover. Michigan State's going to win. Maybe. That's my inkling.
You might have been a young lad, but I remember in 2016 when Middle Tennessee State beat Michigan State outright as a 15 seed.
Repeat?
If my memory serves me correctly, that was the last time Michigan State was a 2 seed. It definitely wasn't, but let's just say it was. I think I agree with you. Like, I don't know if a 2 seed's going to lose this year. But if I were to pick one, this would probably
it would be
the
this one. Yep, I'm 100% with you. Yeah, I'm with you. However, give me Sparty. I don't really foresee that.
I think so too, especially the way they lost that the semifinal game, the championship. I think they're going to be ready to go.
Yep, I'm with you. Let's move to the West. Florida, Norfolk State, Gators. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. UConn and Oklahoma. Kind of interesting.
Perfect example. How the hell did Oklahoma get in? I felt like maybe I know they played a little better down the stretch, but I feel like this team was horrible all year. Like, they start out 12-0 because they don't play anybody in conference, but as soon as SEC play hits, they're a totally different team. I don't know how they're a 9 seed. Like, perfect example of what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. Like, how are they a 9 seed?
I'm 100% with you. I'm going to go with UConn here, even though I don't like UConn at all, to be honest with you.
No, but I don't think anybody does, and I think that's going to be, like, very resemblant. Like, it's going to be a lot like their first run, where, like, they were kind of, I don't know, like, they're good, but I don't think they're that good. I think this team's got a little fight in them.
Yep,
I think they can go on a run.
The most interesting 5-12 matchup of the entire bracket. We've got Memphis at a 5. Colorado State Rams, a 12. And according to Jake's sources, Colorado State is a 3.5 point.
They are a favorite. I don't know what steam has happened. I don't know if they're still 4-point, 3-point favorite, if it's 2, if it's 5. I don't know what the steam's done, but they are a favorite, or they opened as a favorite. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But
they're also they're the hottest team.
They're the hottest team in college basketball.
This is them admitting. This is them inadvertently admitting that they got this seeding wrong, especially with Colorado State. You're giving them 4 points as a 12.
Well, I mean, the committee doesn't decide the betting line, but
no, I understand that. But I'm just saying,
it shows the sports books see an oversight or a misstep based on what they think is going to happen. That's really strange to me, and I think this is the 112 seed I like, as square as that may be.
I'm with you.
But, like, I don't know. It's hard to like I said, I like to use the betting perception to educate myself on some of these games, but I feel like this is a spot that most people would ignore. When you think Colorado State in your head, you think, "Oh, lucky team, won their conference tournament, got hot at the right time." Then you see a team like Memphis, it's like, "Oh, Memphis is really good. They've been knocking on the door the last 3, 4 years." I feel like this is going to be another really public dog, but it's weird because the 5 seed is the dog. That's very strange. So, as obvious as it might be, I think this is. I typically go 3 5s and 1 12 just because it's not the 5-12 isn't the coin flip right now. I think that's the 12 I like. I think you agree.
Yep, I'm with you. The 4-13 matchup, the Maryland Terps taking on the Grand Canyon Lopes.
Antelopes. It's a cool.
You
mascot.
like GC? Oh, I thought you were.
No, it's a cool mascot.
Oh, it's a great mascot.
Lopes. Yeah, it's cool.
Give me
They're not winning.
Maryland.
Yeah.
We're going real chalk so far. This is really chalky.
Well, Maryland's really good.
They are good.
Maryland's really good.
The 6-11 game, Missouri, and one of my darlings that, again, I fall for every single year. I'll do it again, and I'm prepared to be heartbroken. The Drake Bulldogs. Give me my boys. Although I think Missouri is actually really solid. As much
I
as
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I actually think Missouri's probably going to win this game. Knowing me, I'll probably end up picking Drake. Just to be different, give me Drake.
Yeah, I think Drake seems to be that team every year that everyone gravitates toward because they are good. Like
they're always good.
They're kind of the gross and their yucky Missouri Valley way. But yeah, I think it's Mizzou.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm with you.
I have no qualms against people taking Drake because it seemed like I think this team is due for. Did they go on this? They made it to a Sweet 16, right? Or
last year was the one against Miami, right? And
no, I think that was 2 years ago. I don't think Drake made it last year, did they?
No, maybe Bradley got in last year.
Yeah, I don't quite remember, but I feel like if they didn't go on a run, they're due for one. But it just seems like this is the one team every year that people gravitate towards as an upset, and like not for a bad reason either. Like they're competitive, but like I mean they lost to Miami, but like it was close to my knowledge from what I remember. But I don't know. I think Mizzou here. I mean, I think there's a. What's the other 6-11? Ole Miss. That one's I don't know. I don't really like that one.
The other one is BYU and VCU.
Yeah, I would probably be inclined to take VCU before I would take Drake. But that's just
me. I'm also with you on that one.
Yeah.
The 7-10 game. Two kind of yucky teams right now.
Yep,
Kansas and Arkansas.
Nobody wants.
Oh no, I skipped one. The 3-14 game. Texas
you really
Tech.
didn't.
I did. Texas Tech,
you really didn't.
And UNC Wilmington. Wilmington has some fight.
They do. Like I'm thinking if I were to pick a 3 seed to lose, it might be Tech. Just because like I don't know what you're gonna get out of them. They're not saying they're bad because they're not. Like every loss they had, I feel like they've competed in conference play. But when they're bad, they're bad. Like shooting. They always play good defense. That good defense carries. But I still think it's Tech, but I don't know. Like every year it seems like was Kentucky a 4 or a 3 last year when they lost to Oakland?
A 4.
Okay.
I think.
I don't remember, but I just the 3-14, 4-13 is when I'm like, okay, I think one of these guys are gonna lose. I don't know if this is the game though. But like I wouldn't fault anyone for taking a stab at these guys because Wilmington can play, and Texas Tech might. All it takes is 5 bad minutes of shooting, and this team's got that in them. I promise. So,
yeah, I'm with you. The 7-10 game. Back to it.
Nobody
Kansas and
wants
Arkansas.
either of these teams. Nobody wants this, but we get it, and we're gonna watch it.
That is the perfect description of this game. Like nobody wants this
Nobody
game.
wants this game, but everyone wants this game. Like it's gross.
It's disgusting.
These are two talented teams, but like just can't put it together. I think Cal's going on a run. I think Cal can make some noise. Yeah, I think the narrative's finally like in our minds. Like Cal can't win the first round game unless it's 2013. Like I feel like this is the time to buy Cal.
I'm kind of with that.
Like it's really hard to trust Kansas. I've trusted Kansas a lot this season, and they've let me down most of the time. Like I just don't foresee them actually putting it together. Like Bill Self's one of the best coaches in the game, if not top. If he's not like 1, 2, or 3, he's top 5. And it's just like this team just refuses to put it together. Like I've never seen a man who's coached basketball his entire life look so frustrated for a whole season. And it's not for lack of talent, right? It's really not. It's just they don't seem to put it together. They can't finish games. Like they'll be up 10, 15 points, and then all of a sudden they're losing. And it's happened multiple times. Like to me, you'd say that's a coaching issue, but it's not. It's not. It's them. So I like Arkansas. I don't like Arkansas, but I'm probably going to pick Arkansas. I'm kind of just trying to convince myself why it's a good reason to do so, even though I wouldn't be shocked if Arkansas, they're the same team, except they're playing a different state. They're the same. They're the exact same.
No, I'm
it's literally the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Bill Self, 2024, 2025, won't make adjustment. John Calipari, as soon as March 16th comes along, won't make an adjustment. Both lose. It's like, what do you do? I might just flip this thing and decide.
Give me the Hogs.
Yeah, woo pig. I'm going with the pig. Woo pig.
Rounding out, the Johnnies take on Omaha. Give me the Johnnies. Push them along.
Yeah, I think the Johnnies are a team of destiny. Rick Pitino wants this shit bad. He's going to bring out the white suit one of these games. Not this game, but like if they win, they'll get Kansas or Arkansas. That white suit will be popping, and they will be an electric factory.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's push on to the East. We got Duke taking on a 16 seed play-in of either American or Mount St. Mary's. It's the Blue Devils, whether or not they have Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, I think Cooper Flagg being
I think he's supposed to be back.
I think so, but he did a Paul Pierce after that last game, so that's not good. But I think people are going to prematurely assess this injury. Not this game, obviously, but like round of 32, Sweet 16. I think people are going to be concerned about that injury. And like with each game, I think it carries more weight. I'm not breaking any news there. But I wouldn't worry about that for the first game. Probably not even the second game. Like Mississippi State and Baylor are way out of their league in most of the games they play. It seems like I don't think the Duke game without Cooper Flagg will be an exception.
Yeah, and speaking of which, two teams that we kind of already touched on their seeding, Mississippi State and Baylor. Give me the Bulldogs here. I just think they're more physical. I think it's just very into this game. That's how they play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that coach is a spitfire. Like, that guy is a crazy man. He gets fired up. What's his name? I don't remember his name, but I like that guy. He reminds me of me when I'm, like, trying to coach the guys on my couch. And be like, get better. Box out. That reminds me of me. But, yeah, this is like a truly tough one. I think I'm going to go with you here. I picked Creighton. I picked UConn. What's the last 8, 9? Oh, no, I'm going against you. I do 2 and 2. I'm going Baylor.
That's fair. I respect that.
No,
this to me is a legitimate coin flip. Like, I actually have no idea. I think Mississippi State is more physical. I think it might carry a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I liked Baylor a lot coming into the season. Like, this is a team I thought was going to be really good. And like you said, like they've kind of just been. Seems like they're outmatched in almost every game they play.
Well, yeah, Big 12 is weird, but
Yeah.
it seems like those high profile games, minus Kansas game, they were like totally outclassed for half, and then the Monstars came out. I don't know, but like I think your analysis is very solid. Like I think Baylor is going to have to work for every point they get. Like that's how Mississippi State plays. But and I mean this could be like a free throw game. You know what I mean? Like hey,
Yeah.
you're in the bonus. 12 minutes left. You're gonna make your free throws. So like I agree. This is a true coin flip. I guess I'm not sure what button I'm gonna click, but I'm not gonna think about it too much because when I overthink the brackets, they're bad.
Yeah. Next up, the Oregon Ducks take on the Liberty Flames. Give me Dana Altman in March. Simple as that.
I think this is another 5 seed that I don't think people are really crazy about. I don't think people are like looking to pick Liberty for their, cute bracket, but I think Oregon's a team that's kind of not trending the right direction. They haven't been playing great ball the last couple of weeks. So like up until that Wisconsin win, then they played a little better, and then they got smoked by Michigan State, which isn't exactly a knock on them, but I feel like I like Oregon here too.
The 4-13 game. This one
is interesting because Tommy Lloyd in the round of 64. I feel like he's got a sub 500 record on Thursdays.
We got the Arizona Wildcats taking on the Akron Zips.
Matchup.
I think if there's a 4 seed that loses, it's this. Like this, I think this is the one.
But see, that's the thing. Everyone always gravitates toward Arizona, but everyone's always right. Like you see this every year.
That's true.
Not last year. I think last year they lost to UConn. I think they lost to UConn last year in round of 32, but they survived to day one. But yeah, you like Akron? Okay, if you're gonna go with a 4 seed, I like that. I mean, I think Arizona gets it done again this year, but like I'd say that with no conviction whatsoever.
They've just been weird. Like correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have 13 losses this year, 14 losses this year. I think that's the most of any seed that's a 4 or under. And granted, their schedule was really good. Like, but Wisconsin
16, they beat the piss out of them. Yeah,
and so did Duke early in that same week. Like Duke beat them by 14, I believe. Wisconsin beat them by 18.
Yeah,
and over 100 points on them.
Lucky win against Arizona or Iowa State, the buzzer or tied a game. Yeah, so this is a flawed team. I guess I'm just curious to see what 4 seed gets a lot of hate. This might be one of them. It might not be. I'm not really sure. But I wouldn't Akron can win this game.
Yeah.
They make shots. Yeah. Arizona's in trouble. I mean, Princeton beat them in a rock fight. So, I mean, they can lose any which way they want. And I feel like this is one of the lesser talented teams that Tommy Lloyd's had. So I think that's why I'm a little hesitant on being like, oh, I love Akron here. But I think the logic is sound.
The 6-11 game.
We agree on this one, too.
BYU taking on VCU. Ram it. Give me VCU.
I think I like the Rams here, too. I'm going to be a Rams guy this year. This game's going to be fun. This game can go one of two ways. I think it's going to be they each shoot 60% from the field, or they each shoot 6% of the field. I really hope it's the second one. It probably won't be, but I think this game can be really fun. I feel like these teams play very similar styles, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of defense. You just might not see a lot of shot making. So I guess it's determined. Like the score is to be determined, but I think this game is a really good matchup. I think this makes for a good game. I like VCU as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. Next up, our beloved Badgers, the 3 seed, taking on the Grizz of Montana as the 14. Give me the Badgers. I don't think Montana is upset good this year. I'll put it that way.
No, the Big Sky seems to be a very popular upset pick team. I'm not sure why that conference is really, really bad. Like Montana State, everyone was really trendy a couple years ago when Texas Tech still had Mark Adams, and it was this 3-14 matchup. It was the same thing. Texas Tech ran them out of the gym. Like they were down 30 at halftime. So I'm seeing a lot of the same here. I think people might think Wisconsin not that good. They'd probably be right, but I think Wisconsin will at least see Saturday.
Yeah, I'm with you. The 7-10 game, St. Mary's taking on Vanderbilt.
It's a
St.
good
Mary's.
matchup too.
It is. I like St. Mary's though.
I think Vanderbilt might have a little fight in them though. And like to be honest, this is one of St. Mary's first real like tests. Like let me
Other
go
than
check.
Gonzaga, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean they played them 3 times, but let's see St. Mary's in the net. I'm just curious what their schedule is.
I mean, I don't think they played anybody in non-con, if I remember, because we talked about it in our WCC preview.
Yeah,
like their non-con schedule was not good.
Yeah, they're 4-3 in Quad 1. They beat Utah in Provo or wherever the fuck they play, Salt Lake City. Lost to Boise on a neutral by 2. That's not a good loss. Hindsight. Beat Santa Clara on the road, beat Gonzaga on the road, beat Gonzaga at home. Lost to San Francisco, lost to Gonzaga in the title game. Beat Nebraska, USC, not saying anything. Arizona State, not saying anything. Their conference opponents lost to Utah State at home. That was a wild game. I remember that. Good otherwise. Yeah, like quad 3, quad 4. I mean, Akron, they beat Akron. That's probably their best quad 3 win. I mean, they beat Towson, Chattanooga, Pepperdine, Washington State, Loyola Marymount, Oregon State. They lost to Merrimack at home. That's fucking insane. Oh, no, they didn't. I saw the red arrow. It said down because it's like, oh, that fell out of a quad. I don't know. They did not lose that game. I lied. They did not lose that game. I want to make that very clear. They did not lose to Merrimack. I just saw the red thing on there, and I got distracted because I'm an idiot. But, yeah, that out-of-conference schedule is not very impressive. And Vanderbilt's got some life. I feel like St. Mary's might be chalk it up game. I think honestly, I think they'll win, but I don't know if that's going to be a cupcake for them.
No, I'm with you. I think this is going to be a really good game, actually.
I think so too. Contrast to styles. That's not unique because everyone's a contrast to styles to St. Mary's, but Vanderbilt's got like they got some fight. I got a hunch they got some fight.
I like it. Rounding out Bama, Bob Morris. Give me Bama. Fresh legs.
If there's a 2 seed that's going to lose, though, I think it's Bama. What if Robert Morris just rips? Just rips.
See, the thing is, though, is like with Alabama, I always poo-poo on Alabama in these things because I just hate that style of play. But
they're so good. Like, it works for them. Yeah.
It works in game 1 because they haven't played yet. So they're just sitting around, and then they come out and they score 135 points.
I'm surprised Robert Morris got a 15 seed
instead of a 16.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the other 16s.
Well, sure.
Exactly.
I would. Yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe I would probably take Robert Morris over Edwardsville.
I would.
Yeah. Speaking of Edwardsville.
Speaking of, let's just move Houston along here.
I think I like Houston to win the whole thing this year.
I do too. They score this year.
I think Houston.
This is the year.
And I feel like everyone's kind of gravitating towards somebody else, where Houston's always a pretty popular pick. I think this year people
it's because Florida exists. I love Florida this year.
I know, I do too. But I think Houston might do it this year.
Houston versus Rick Pitino in the finals.
Feed
families.
So sick. Yeah. The people love Rick Pitino. Everyone loves Rick Pitino. Guy does something inappropriate. Now he's a fucking American hero.
Next up, we got the 8-9 game, Gonzaga versus Georgia. Give me the Zags here.
I see a lot
of Georgia
love. Yeah, they are. It's not indicative of Georgia being like ass, but I see a lot of Georgia love, and I'm not about it. I think Gonzaga is going to go on a little run here, too. I
Next
think
up,
they are just a victim to where they're at, like in that bracket. That's a tough bracket for them to get out of.
yeah, no kidding. Next up, we've got the 5 seed Clemson Tigers taking on Will Wade and the McNeese. I don't even. What is their mascot? I'm blanking on it.
Broncos, Mavericks.
No,
I
that's
don't
not
know.
right.
I
I'm
don't
blanking
know.
on it.
It's
I had it
it
in my
looks like
head.
a
And
horse.
it is, but they're not that.
McNeese State University mascot. The Rowdy. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool.
That's the mascot's name. That's not what they are.
Oh.
They're the Cowboys. The
Oh.
McNeese State Cowboys. Yes.
Oh, they should be the Rowdies. That's way cooler.
No,
than
that's the
Cowboys.
mascot.
Get the
The
fuck out of
Rowdies.
here.
Speaking
Like
of which,
oh, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
No,
I'm gonna say something stupid.
no, you go.
Okay, you know Big Cat and the Texas Tech mascot. He calls him Johnny.
Yeah.
The big mustache. Yosemite
Yeah.
Sam. That guy's fucking cool. I want him. I want to be him.
You know what's an underrated college basketball mascot is the Kansas State Wildcat because he doesn't have the full suit. It's just the head on a dude, and then he's
Oh, he's just wearing his regular. It's like
Yeah.
if the Notre Dame Leprechaun just put on like
yes, like just put on a helmet of like
Wildcat head.
yeah,
So
it's
cool.
awesome. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, the Notre Dame mascot just wears a Pope uniform instead of
a leprechaun.
Yeah. We're dumb. Sorry.
McNeese is a team that it felt like the last 2 or 3 years they've been in, everybody has loved.
And
I feel
they're
like
good though, like for good reason.
It's for good reason. But I feel like they're not getting that talk this year. You mentioned before the show, you think Will Wade is out after this year, which like
yeah, not in a bad way. I think
like,
he's going somewhere
no,
else.
yeah, like
I
no,
think
he's gonna
it's
get a
time
big
for
job.
a bump.
I mean,
yeah,
he got booted for paying players, and now it's
literally legal. Yeah,
it's all of college sports. But nonetheless, I think it's McNeese here. I think this is the year. It's the swan song for Will Wade. Let him go on a little run here.
It might be like it very well might be. Like I said, I like to pick 112, and I think I got my 12 narrowed down. But hey, I'm not saying it can't happen where you get 2-2 again. And this is a really intriguing matchup. The only thing that worries me though is I picked McNeese last year against Gonzaga, and they looked not good.
Oh, I did too. They got stomped.
They looked very outclassed, and Clemson is really good. But it's March. Never know. You like McNeese? I'd probably go with Clemson here, but
this one is kind of a toss-up. Like I'm leaning McNeese just because like last year they felt like they were that seed that everybody was on, and they got stomped by Gonzaga, like you said. So
I think that's an accurate statement. I feel like that is the 112 seed that was pretty high profile. I would agree with that. I'm trying to think of a different one. Well, Drake is always one, but I don't even think they were there last year. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that was kind of the one last year.
Yeah.
And we got none of them. So I think you're going to get one, at least one this year. But yeah, it was all fives last year.
Purdue and High Point. High Point isn't horrible, but it's Purdue, I think. I don't foresee this being an upset, but
I don't either. But if you were going to pick a 4, this might be one I'd look toward, just because like Purdue kind of got the monkey off their back last year by going to the championship game. I wouldn't be shocked if John Rothstein should change his moniker to Death Taxes Matt Painter from November to February. So I wouldn't be shocked if they had a little scare anyways. But
yeah, I could definitely see that. We got the 6-11 matchup. It'll be Illinois versus either Texas or Xavier.
Xavier.
Do you think it's Xavier there?
I think it'd be Xavier.
I think so too. I don't know actually.
Like
that game to me is
you're buying Texas at a high. Like, have they looked any better?
Not really. Maybe like the first 2 weeks of the season, but
yeah, playing Lamar and Houston Baptist or Houston Christian, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I like Illinois. Does anyone like Illinois?
Not really. We talked about them in the Big Ten preview. Like we both said that could be a team to go on the run in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah,
we were very wrong. But now it feels like you might be
Scott Willard.
Yeah, you might be buying him low here. Nobody's really talking about him. Think, if Xavier does get through, they could be a popular dog as an 11. I even think Texas would be a popular dog just because it's a Big Ten team and it's Illinois of all Big Ten teams. It's not
Yeah,
Purdue. It's not
people
Wisconsin. It's not
people talk.
Michigan.
Yeah, people talk about fading the Mountain West all the time. People really don't like the Big Ten in the tournament either,
No.
for good reason. Like I
Yeah,
think a lot of that's warranted, but yeah, the Big Ten's very unpopular too. Not sure why.
yeah, I'm with you. We got Kentucky as the 3, taking on the Troy Trojans at the 14 seed. It's Kentucky. I don't really think they're in for a scare here.
I don't think so either, but could you just imagine how funny it would be for that fan base to finally revolt after 10 years of Coach Cal blowing a load down his leg, to get a new coach, Mark Pope, keeping the faith, some guy they like, and then he does the same fucking thing? That would be so funny. That would be hysterical. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be hysterical. Like they just can't get the monkey off their back.
And to see Coach Cal beat Kansas in the first round.
Oh yes, and then you get to watch Coach Cal and the new team. That would be so funny. I might do it just because that would be so funny.
Just for the storyline.
Oh man, that would be incredible. To be clear, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so either.
That would be
but what if?
That would be so
the 7-10 matchup in the Midwest is UCLA taking on Utah State. I'm gonna go with the Bruins here.
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
This is like I feel like I haven't really. I'm a big Mountain West guy. I already took Colorado State. One of these teams is due to lay an egg in this one. It's probably Utah State, which they did last year too. In all honesty, I took them last year, and I think a 7-10 game as well. Yeah, I think in a 7-10 game, and they got stomped. Like they were never in it.
Yeah, I remember. I think I took them too, and that was brutal.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. It seems like the Mountain West is typically bad, but the last couple of years, I think like one team has managed to do okay, and it's never them. So I'm probably not going to go contrarian and buy them here when there's no real reason to. I feel like UCLA is another team that people aren't really crazy about. This might be a popular 10-7.
Yeah.
10.
I can see it.
I think one of these Mountain West teams makes it out, and I hope to God it's the Lobos, but I don't know. I'm so scared.
Rounding out, we got Tennessee as the 2 taking on Wofford, the 15. Give me the Vols.
And Wofford has no business being here.
No.
I don't know if Tennessee has any business being a 2 seed either, but here we are, 2025.
And that's the bracket. That's the whole thing.
Good news. I did all my tournament futures like 2 months ago. I managed to pick one out of every bracket, like every region, like totally on accident. No, I've got one out of every region. None of them are going to hit, but at least they won't be cannibalizing each other in the round of 32. That's kind of cool. I'm really, really pulling for Wisconsin. I got Wisconsin at 20-1. I got a shit number on UConn at 10-1. I got Creighton at 17-1, and I got the Lobos at 80-1 as my long shot, and none of them are hitting. That's okay. It's fun. It's losing my money is fun.
You got anything else on the bracket?
Nothing intelligent.
I don't think so. I don't think I do either.
Oh, hell yeah, the Pacers won. Baby, Jake might have a winning day. I have been so bad, guys. Like, seriously, I think I have had 2 winning days in the last 20. So, anything helps. Anything helps. I'm just not going to get angry when I belligerently bet every game and bad things happen. I'm just going to have fun. Because it's March, and March is fun. And I have Friday off. I didn't
Oh,
take it. It's like my alternate Friday, and I can just wake up, plop myself down right there, and not move
all day.
all day, whole day. I might go to the
Comfortably.
gym in the morning, but anything else? It's been a long episode, but we
No,
had
that's all I
much to
got.
discuss.
We did. Be sure you're following us on Twitter, subscribe to the Substack and the YouTube. Get these every single week. We will be back probably next Monday talking first round. That's my guess, right? When does the second round start? The 28th?
Yep, it's
Yeah, so
always
we'll
the end of the week.
yeah, so we'll recap that first weekend and do some predictions for weekend 2.
One more thing. Don't forget about the NIT. It starts tomorrow. Show the NIT some love. Those guys play basketball too. They love the game too. We can bet on
Is
them
there
too.
there's a new tournament, isn't there? There's one in Vegas.
Yeah,
There's like 15 teams in it.
yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but I love the CBI tire. Every year I own the CBI tire. I missed like the championship game every year, but I like smoke the CBI tire. The NIT, I love the NIT. I remember those teams. It's more opportunities to lose some money. We love that. There a CIT that's one
Yes,
too. I think.
that's the Vegas one,
Okay, that's not new, but
isn't it?
I don't think
Or am I
so.
wrong? There's a 16 team tournament that's happening. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
anything about
probably
it.
the CIT. The CBI tires like an 8 team field, 8 or 16. NIT's like I don't know if it's 64, but it might be like 32. Oh, before one last thing, did you see that the NIT extended an invitation to South Alabama, and then they had to immediately turn around and rescind that invitation because they thought a team declined, and they didn't decline, they accepted. How fucking brutal! Oh yeah, hey, you want to come play in our tournament? Never mind.
Just kidding.
Oh, that's tough.
That is
That's tough.
unfortunate.
Yeah, and we love our Sunbelt teams, so that's unfortunate for sure. Damn. All right, let's actually wrap this up. We don't need to bitch anymore. It's late.
We'll see you next week. Recapping the bracket, predicting round 2. We're going to see how many of these we got wrong rather than right, because let's be honest with each other. That's what we do around here. And we'll see you next week.
Putting the overdue in Overdue Sports.